Hi, I'm Erin Lento from The Witch of Saturn here with my Astrobestie Maggie from Made by Mag's Astro.
Hi.
It is Tuesday, October 14th, 2025, and we are doing the astrology week ahead forecast for this week. So,
Yes.
yeah. So, what do we have coming up? I mean, yesterday was a really big day. So, I feel like there has been a shift. Do you?
hmm Yes. So last night, Pluto stationed direct.
Mhm.
Um, I got woken up a few times in my sleep and paranoia and all the things and all the thoughts about, oh my gosh, is somebody breaking into my house right now? Just because my dog was going mental.
Oh, geez.
Oh, it was
Yeah,
a
I
kind of a restless night.
I
So
couldn't fall
yes.
asleep. I was up until like way too late. I had a hard
Oh, okay.
time sleeping. So I do feel like same with that intensity of energy.
Yeah, restless night. And then this morning, the moon moved into Leo and made it through all those outer planets and landed on an opposition with Pluto. So I was just like, oh, this morning was also I'm in Canada. It was the holiday long weekend over the weekend. So today is my Monday. That might have a little bit to do with
To
it,
do
but
it.
this morning was a little hectic and all over the place. And now Venus is in a trine to Uranus. So we have this like grand air trine going on, which
Yeah,
is also impactful because she will come into a trine with Pluto tonight. So
yep.
all
So
day
we've got
long.
Venus moving into the air sign of Libra,
Mm-hmm.
trining Uranus in Gemini, and then Pluto in Aquarius. So this grand air trine happening with Pluto and these two really intense outer planets.
Yes, yes. And we've seen this before with Mars first and then with Mercury. But Venus is a much nicer influence, especially now that she's back in domicile in her rulership. She has all the tools and all the strength she needs to like bring a harmonious, disposition to this aspect, I guess. So we'll see how that goes.
And I
Hopefully.
feel, yeah, hopefully good. I feel like that with Venus working with Pluto and Uranus, that there is a prime energy to take advantage of an opportunity having to do with some kind of insight and then deep transformational change. Like it does
Yeah.
seem to me that in our personal lives, we could really take advantage of this to kind of, or it could also be kind of this energy of liberating ourselves from the things that are no longer serving us so that we can be in better alignment with that which is our true greatest desire. Do you feel that?
Oh yeah, yeah. I just finished writing my morning post and it was very much about hopefully this will bring some sort of like inspirational thoughts to break out of old mental patterns that we can use to make that empowering transition through Pluto now that Pluto over the course since May has been retrograde. So we've been moving through some sort of internal stuff. And now hopefully we can bring that out of ourselves or it'll manifest externally and we'll feel better about like saying yes to things today or doing those Venus affirmations because she's able to actually say yes right now. So, yeah, I'm hopeful it'll be like way more inspiring and pleasurable than it will be difficult.
I agree. I think it's a good energy that we really see throughout this week because after today's aspects, and the next thing is the sun square Jupiter, which even in square, Jupiter is still the great benefic. So
Mm-hmm.
there could be an energy of excess or things getting over exaggerated or inflated, but even still, it's like a pretty nice energy that carries us up to an intense weekend, right?
Right. So that happens Thursday evening into early Friday morning. So like all day Thursday probably we'll be feeling this over exaggeration of sun square Jupiter. And if the sun is like our success and achievement or positivity, uh, Jupiter also very optimistic and wants to bring abundance into our lives and growth. That should be a helpful thing. But again, yeah, squares can sort of like we have to force it into existence. We can't just like sit there and hope for it. It'll have to be something we actually take and do. Um, or can,
Or
like you said, over exaggerated.
yeah, or the thing that just came to mind for me while you were kind of talking about that was getting our hopes up. I think there
Mm,
could be an energy of getting our hopes up for something that then culminates with the Mars Mercury conjunction of then getting like pissed off when it doesn't happen. Maybe there's like a little bit of a high and then a low uh drop off there.
yeah, it's true because so by that time, Mercury is very close to that Mars conjunction, and that happens Sunday evening into Monday morning, and then we have a new moon on the Tuesday. So it's almost like another internal battle with that Mercury Mars stuff about doing the damn thing or something like that. Like we're really, really hopeful for this stuff, but at the same time, like we have to put it into action. But that Mercury Mars conjunction, it can be like that Pluto energy of getting into our heads in a psychological state of crisis where we're like, those intrusive thoughts start coming in, or fears, or some sort of paranoia or something about it. What do you think?
Well, when I think of Mercury and Mars coming together, like my immediate thought is, okay, somebody's gonna pop off. That's like, I'm
Mm-hmm.
pissed and I'm gonna let you know about it. You know what I mean?
Right. Yeah.
Or it could be something Austin Coppock brought up was about just like crime or the propensity to make bad decisions, which I thought was really insightful because Mercury does have that trickster energy. It's
Yeah, that
mercurial.
theft
It could,
quality. Yeah.
yes, it could go either way with Mercury. And so when you bring Mars in, it's kind of like the friend who's a bad influence. Like, yeah, let's do it. There's
Yes.
kind of
Impulsive decision. Like,
impulsive.
yes, not thought through. We're
Yeah.
just going to take action here. And that Jupiter, well, Jupiter and the sun are still in that square. Yeah, it can be overboard for
Over the
sure.
top.
Yeah.
So my advice to all my clients for this month has been, like know that you're probably going to be frustrated or get pissed off or worked up about something, or the people
Mhm.
around you are going to be in that energy. It's prime for everyone. So tread lightly and don't say the thing. Like make a phone call, call someone to bitch and vent about it, but
Yeah,
take a breath before you just go off. Because
right. Don't be impulsive and impatient. And that's hard right now because we have no Earth going on. We have just the South Node in Virgo. So there's
true.
literally nothing to like ground down into or like keep us in that stable sort of, you know, it's going to be okay, or that thought through thoroughness. It's just about doing the thing and doing it quickly and getting it done. But that's when mistakes and accidents happen. And this also looks like accident prone energy, like Mercury, the head, Mars, blunt force. It's like, I don't want to go there with it, but just like be careful with
Yeah.
this.
But basically, this is an aspect of blunt force trauma. So,
It is. I don't like, but we have to say it is what it is. It could be a bit dangerous, especially when we're rushing through stuff, right? So just be very careful and aware of where you are and what you're doing, and take a deep breath and like think things through
agree.
um over the weekend, for sure, this weekend,
Yeah, I think that
coming
that's
weekend.
the main takeaway for this week is to stay level-headed through the weekend. Like you said, slow down, take a breath, think things through, or just don't think things through and wait before you kind of allow yourself time to process. Like, don't take action on something off the cuff, right? Like,
Yeah, don't make hasty decisions when you're in a bad mood, is my best advice. I literally just listened to a meditation this morning that said that. It's like, oh, that's, yeah, perfect for this. When you're in a really bad mood, it's not a good idea to make a life-changing decision. You gotta think, yeah, take a time out for sure.
yeah,
Um,
this weekend, the advice is take a time out, take a
yeah, take a
that
chill pill.
that too. I think there could be a lot of fatigue or mental burnout or
Yeah.
exhaustion kind of. It would be a good time to take a nap, take a rest, have a
Mhm.
movie day, chill rather than get
Yes.
worked up.
And then the other thing about this is Mercury's going to hit its shadow period during the full or the new moon there. So it's just the beginning of its retrograde. So whatever happens with the first Mercury Mars conjunction, it's so interesting because the minute Mercury goes retrograde, Mars is there. So they come back together on the day of its retrograde. Uh, but that's in Sagittarius. So it's a little bit of a more lighthearted energy. But it's really interesting how it takes place like that. So yeah, there's the shadow at 20 degrees.
Yeah.
So
Oh
that
yeah, you're talking
means,
about, I got it. So you're talking about the next time they make a conjunction, which happens on November 12th at 6 degrees of Sag.
yeah, Mercury will station retrograde, and Mars is also just happens to be there. It's
Yeah.
Sagittarius at 6 degrees. So whatever takes place on the Tuesday there will be part of Mercury's retrograde story.
And I would add on to that and say that also dates to pay attention to for the Mercury retrograde story. Um, could even go back to earlier this month on the 6th when Mercury went into Scorpio. There may be some kind of preview that happens then just when Mercury entered this sign. And then again on really, I would say whatever happens on Sunday is going to be a part of the story with the Mercury Mars conjunction applying. And then, yeah, the 21st, next Tuesday, with the new moon and Mercury hitting its shadow degree, that is a time to really kind of see what's up because just that new moon start of something new during the shadow period, I think will give us a really good insight into what's to come for the Mercury retrograde.
Oh yeah, definitely. It's just so interesting that it's happening at that lunation, and
Hmm.
it's all going to come back around for whatever reason because of the retrograde. So yes, if there's mental anguish going on over the weekend and into Tuesday, try to kind of think through that. I love to like suggest shadow work to like dig deeper into what's coming up because it is part of an ongoing story here in wherever that's hitting your own natal chart.
And also interesting that, yeah, the Mercury retrograde shadow period is tied into this upcoming new moon, and Mercury ingressed into the sign of Scorpio on a full moon.
Mm-hmm.
So it does seem like we're going to want to pay extra close attention to the lunations throughout this Mercury retrograde.
Right. Definitely. I yeah, completely agree. It is it can be great energy to do some deep soul searching and transformative work towards new ventures, but it's also like you actually have to face some of those darker areas of life in order to do that. So it is a mixed energy for sure.
But I think that this Venus grand trine kind of gives in in an air sign gives this opportunity to kind of do that mentally,
Mhm.
with Uranus being the planet of liberation and breaking free of the things that bind us, and Pluto being that planet that does the deep excav excavation type
Yeah.
work to become like the phoenix rising. So it does all seem like it has a nice flow into naturally us being able to kind of do that work.
Yeah, to move through something. And it's something that's probably been an ongoing issue since the beginning of the year, since March, when Pluto was had stationed. I think Pluto stationed in May. So since like March, April, May, if anybody's has Pluto hitting you natally, like impacting that natal part of your chart, it's probably something that is coming back around, and it is something to like finally be dealt with if you have planets in the early degrees of the fixed signs, so like 1 to 4 degrees. Everybody who has Pluto in the early degrees of Scorpio, including myself, we're going to start going through our Pluto square. So that's yeah, that's a deeply transformative time all within itself. So yeah, there's a lot going on this week that can be very deeply impactful for sure.
All right. Well, I think that's a good place to stop for the
Yeah.
and we'll see you back here next week. Feel free to comment on the video and let us know what you think about the forecast or how some of these things are landing in your own life. If you would like to get a reading with either of us, you can find me on my website, which is erinlento.com, and you can find Maggie on Facebook under Made by Mags Astro. Anything else you want to add, Maggie?
No, I think we covered it pretty well. Thanks for our chat.
Yeah, it was great. I hope everybody has a good week and remember to breathe through it.
Yeah, breathe. This storm shall pass.
Yes.
Whatever's going on, it will pass.
All right. Bye.
Bye.